Ever wonder why your microwave oven heats food so fast? Or why post-it notes stick just right? Prepare to have your mind blown. We're about to unearth the astonishing, often accidental origins of everyday items you use without a second thought, revealing the genius and bizarre circumstances behind their creation. Take a look at this, the humble post-it note. It's on your desk, in your books, on your fridge. It's so simple, yet it completely changed how we organize our lives. But did you know this little square of paper was a complete accident? A scientist was trying to create a super strong adhesive, but ended up with the exact opposite, a weak glue that could be easily peeled off. It was considered a failure for years until another employee realized it was the perfect solution for keeping his bookmarks from falling out of his church hymnal. How many other simple things around you have a story just like that? Let's find out. Now, let's talk about the microwave oven. This kitchen miracle didn't start with a chef, but with a radar engineer during World War II. Percy Spencer was working on a magnetron, a device that generates microwaves for radar systems, when he noticed a chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. He was intrigued. He tried another experiment with popcorn kernels, and they popped all over the lab. Then he tried an egg, which famously exploded in his colleague's face. Initially, people were skeptical. The first commercial microwaves were 6 feet tall, weighed over 750 pounds, and cost a fortune. Their first use wasn't even for cooking food, but for industrial drying. It took decades for it to shrink down and become the kitchen staple we know today. And what about Play-Doh? Before it was a beloved children's toy, it was wallpaper cleaner. Seriously. In the 1930s, when homes were heated by messy coal furnaces, walls would get covered in soot. This doughy, pliable compound was invented to roll over wallpaper and lift the grime off. But as cleaner, more efficient heating systems became common, the demand for wallpaper cleaner plummeted. The company was on the brink of collapse until one of the founder's relatives, a nursery school teacher, realized kids loved sculpting with the non-toxic dough. With a simple change in marketing and the removal of the cleaning agent, a failed product was reborn as one of the most iconic toys in history. The chaos of war has a strange way of birthing incredible innovations. Take duct tape. During World War II, the military needed a strong, flexible, waterproof tape to seal ammunition cases. A factory worker and mother of 2 sailors named Vesta Stout came up with the idea of a fabric-based waterproof tape. Johnson & Johnson developed it, and soldiers quickly realized this duct tape, named for its water-repellent qualities, was useful for everything, from repairing jeeps to patching tents. When the war ended, soldiers brought the idea home, and it found thousands of new uses in households across the country, becoming the ultimate quick-fix tool. And what about the slinky? That mesmerizing coil of metal that seems to magically walk downstairs? It also has military roots. In 1943, a naval engineer named Richard James was trying to develop springs that could stabilize sensitive instruments on ships in rough seas. One of the springs accidentally fell off a shelf, and instead of just clattering to the floor, it walked gracefully. James saw its potential as a toy. After 2 years of perfecting the design, he and his wife demonstrated it at a department store. The first 400 slinkies sold out in just 90 minutes. A wartime tool for naval stability became a peacetime marvel of simple physics and fun. It's a perfect example of how the urgent needs of conflict can accidentally pave the way for things that bring joy to our daily lives. Sometimes the path to success is paved with spectacular failures. Let's talk about breakfast. The cornflake, that crunchy staple of the morning meal, was born from a mistake. The Kellogg brothers were health nuts running a sanitarium, and they were trying to create a new, healthy type of bread for their patients. They accidentally left some boiled wheat sitting out for too long. Instead of throwing it away, they tried to roll it out anyway, and it broke into flakes. They toasted these flakes and served them to the patients who loved them. They experimented with other grains, and corn proved to be the biggest hit. What began as a kitchen mishap in a health clinic became a global breakfast empire. And what about the world's most famous beverage? Coca-Cola wasn't originally intended to be a refreshing soda. It was invented by a pharmacist named John Pemberton in the 1880s as a medicinal tonic. It was advertised as a brain tonic and nerve tonic that could cure headaches, fatigue, and stomach problems. It was sold in drugstores at the soda fountain. The aha moment came by accident when a clerk, instead of mixing the syrup with plain water, used carbonated water instead. The result was so delicious that it completely transformed the product. A slight change, a happy accident, turned a local remedy into a worldwide cultural phenomenon. It just goes to show that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs happen when you're not even looking for them. Let's look at one more, and this one is genius. Bubble wrap. That satisfyingly poppable plastic we all love was never meant to be a packing material. In 1957, two engineers were trying to create a textured 3D plastic wallpaper. It didn't sell, so they pivoted. They thought, hey, maybe this would work as greenhouse insulation. That idea also failed. The company was on the verge of giving up on their invention until IBM announced its new 1401 computer. They needed a way to protect the delicate electronic components during shipping. The inventors pitched their failed wallpaper as the perfect solution, and the rest is history. From a fashion-forward wallpaper flop to the king of protective packaging. All of these stories are about more than just the items themselves. They're about the unsung heroes, the engineers, the factory workers, the pharmacists, whose curiosity, persistence, and ability to see potential in failure have shaped our world in ways we rarely appreciate. The next time you pop something in the microwave, jot down a note or tape up a box. Take a second. Look at that everyday object with a new sense of wonder. Because inside that simple thing is an incredible story of accident, ingenuity, and the beautiful, unpredictable nature of human creativity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the secret history of everyday things, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one.